Hi everyone, this is Chaser Channel. My name is Kirill and we talk about watches here. Today we have an Orient Star diver. For many this will be a surprise because among this sub-brand we usually see elegant classic models, but no. Today not only is it a certified diver, but it's also a reincarnation of a 1964 model. So it's doubly interesting to look at this watch, and you can purchase it at my store chasterclub.com. Links will be in the description. We're greeted with an atypical picture on the dial. I don't remember anything similar from Orient Star, but more on that later. And actually, there are interesting details on the case too. For example, these sharp bevels on the lugs, something samurai-like from Seiko. I don't recall seeing this on Orient, but at the same time, there are elegant rounded sides, a rounded bezel, a rounded crown with the Orient Star logo, and everything is polished. Of course, everything here has a mirror surface, which will give an additional effect on a bright sunny day. The bezel rotates in one direction like a proper diver's watch, 120 clicks. Dark green insert on the bezel, markings, a luminous dot at 12. This is, by the way, one of the stiffest bezels I've encountered recently. It really does turn, of course, with effort for fans of other bezels. The crystal is sapphire. It's not immediately obvious that it has a slightly spherical shape. Actually, it does curve, and it has an anti-reflective coating. You, I think, can understand this from the reflections in it. From the light box, and regarding the dial, a dark green beautiful dial of an incredible emerald shade. The dial structure here is sunray, which means the color changes radially, slightly gradient, and plus, following Diva's tradition, it turns black closer to the edge of the dial. Where there are small indices, mostly round with luminous material, which is also on the hands. The shape is somewhat similar to Rolex Submariner, this diver style from the 60s, but the mode indication is completely atypical for Orient. Such a distinctive hand, really not similar to the others and to the indices, as if it doesn't even match the model, but actually we need to dig into history here. In 2021, Orient decided to release a reissue model of the Olympia Calendar Diver, a watch from 1964, for the 70th anniversary of the Orient Star line. And the new reissue almost exactly copied the design. Of course, the characteristics were improved. The mechanism, water resistance. Instead of 40 meters, it now has divers 200 meters. Limited edition of 500 pieces. And in May 2022, our today's model was released along with a black dial version. And this is already the second reissue. This time the Calendar Auto Orient models, also a model from 1964. But there, as you understand, the hands were in a slightly different format. Plus it had an automatic mechanism. And again, we see in the new models a one-to-one intersection of design and hands and indices and overall appearance. By the way, it's worth noting that in 2023 there was another reissue of the Olympia. This time with a white dial and in a quantity of 900 pieces. Inside, naturally, is the modern F6N47 movement. And as you understand, it's designed for a power reserve of 50 hours. There is both automatic and manual winding. Plus, we understand that the movement is protected to the maximum as the diver's water resistance of 200 meters is specially certified. No case back. But on the back we have interesting information at an angle which contains both the inscription about the crystal and about the case material and about the Japanese origin. In general, all these inscriptions are placed here in a circle, but the case back looks nice. The mechanism. The crown, by the way, is naturally screwed down. The mechanism itself is controlled in 3 positions. In the 0 position, manual winding in the first, date in the last, hacking seconds and time setting. The hands are sensitive, responding quickly to the movement of the knob. We should also understand that the date change happens before 11 o'clock. It starts in advance, but almost exactly at 12, around 5 minutes past 1, it clicks over. And what's most interesting, well, the date is understandable, it moves clockwise, but what's really interesting, of course, is the manual winding, when we literally make 2 to 3 turns of the crown, and we can see how quickly the power reserve indicator hand moves. It starts moving toward 50. A certified diver signifies exceptional diving skills. Naturally, in the dark, you won't have any issues with this. The dimensions are neat, they sit great on the wrist. The height from lug to lug is 49.6 millimeters, diameter 41 millimeters, thickness 14 millimeters. It's worth admitting that they are a bit thick compared to the average size of modern watches. But for a diver, a thickness of 14 millimeters is quite acceptable. I mean, looking from above, you wouldn't even say it's 14 millimeters. It doesn't feel that way. The bracelet is steel, high quality, with an execution that's also not typical for Orient, but it has a circumference of 21 centimeters plus about 1 to 1.5 centimeters that can be added through the diver's extension. So again, those with larger wrists might appreciate this. Branding on the clasp button. The clasp is solid. Right here, regarding the bracelet, of course, everything turned out well. They have a quality, pleasant bracelet that sits excellently on the wrist. The total weight of the watch is 175 grams. We continue with the bracelet theme. It's worth noting that in this version's package, and actually in the black version too, an additional black silicone strap is included. With such an interesting textured structure, plus the back surface is also curiously designed. There's even branding here. Well, it's also approximately up to 21 centimeters in circumference. Therefore, this model on the bracelet serves as quite a restrained business diver, which can even be paired with shirts. But as soon as you change to the silicone strap, immediately, I think, a sporty character will be evident. And such a functional set suitable for many life situations. It's worth reminding that Orient is an Epson company. Seiko is made by them as well. And with these two brands, we've been seeing many reincarnations of retro models in recent years. Actually, I believe it's an excellent decision to remake models in a modern way, because first of all, we get a breath of fresh air with models appearing that stand out from the general lineup. And secondly, these are modern watches for the modern person, meaning they also have new standards, diving standards, as we see here. Standards for materials, for processing, sapphire crystal. Excellent steel. And of course, the movement, 50 hours of power reserve, improved performance plus a calendar, and 2 types of winding. And in conclusion, I'll note, of course, that you can purchase this Diver 1964-2 reissue set at the chasterclub.com store. In the end, I'd like to know your opinion about this model. Be sure to leave it in the comments below the video. And if you liked it, then give it a like and subscribe to the channel. That's all. Goodbye, everyone.